Hi guys, and welcome to the Ace Tanker for the Scorpion, the Tier 7 American Premium Tank Destroyer. Now, I did cover this tank on the channel quite recently. I did quite a long first impressions video where I spent a lot of time talking about the tank, but if you haven't seen that video, I'll just sum it up very quickly. Basically, the Scorpion, as I say, Tier 7 Premium Tank Destroyer, and it's quite small. You can see that it's very small compared to some of the other TDs and some of the other tanks beside me. That means that the camo rating is very good. It's quite fast. It's got a 45 km/h top speed. It's got a decent engine. The power to weight ratio is very good. So it's fast, mobile, decent camo, and it's got great gun depression along with a great gun. So the gun, 219mm of penetration, very good. This tank doesn't get special matchmaking, but when you get 219mm of penetration, even against tier 9s, the gun is accurate enough and has enough penetration to deal with tier 9s, which means you don't have to fire a lot of premium ammo, but even if you do, it's 250 or 275mm of penetration with heat. So the gun, very good. The tank is very good. Fast, mobile, good camo, good gun, gun depression. So what's the downside? Well, the downside is the tank has absolutely no armor. You've got 1mm of armor all round, and you've got 5mm of armor on your gun shield. So absolutely no armor. It means that the tank's survivability is very low. If this tank gets shot at, shots are usually going to hit, they're going to do damage, they're going to knock out crew members, they're going to knock out modules, so it doesn't forgive mistakes. A couple of other problems I've found with the tank, at least from my own games in it, is it doesn't like city maps very much because it's fast, it's mobile, and it's got good camo, and you can't really exploit the camo rating on city maps, especially small city maps. So its view range doesn't come into use in city maps, its camo doesn't come into use, and because you've got absolutely no armor, I think the tank does a lot better on big open maps where it can use its speed and its camo rating than it does on city maps. It's quite a squishy and easy target to kill on a city map, and it's also very team dependent because I've been finding it very hard to pick up wins when I'm playing the Scorpion, and usually it's down to the fact that the view range is not fantastic on the tank, although you can put binocs or coated optics on the tank if you choose, but quite often you're going to be using your teammates to spot for you. You're going to be supporting teammates from slightly behind, and as a result, if your team die rather quickly, you're left standing alone against multiple enemy tanks, and Scorpion really doesn't do well against multiple enemy tanks, unless, as I say, you're on a big open map with lots of camo, because you can't take a hit. The moment you get spotted, you're probably going to die or take quite a lot of damage. So the tank is quite map dependent, and I find it quite team dependent as well, but that's maybe a spoiler alert. But anyway, we found ourselves here on Prokhorovka. I'm a tier 7 in a tier 7 game. There's one RT on the enemy team, but big open map, perfect situation for this tank, especially as I'm top tier. Now, I'm going to put on my mature face for a moment because someone else who's top tier is our top tier IS-2, tier 7 Berlin Quartet tank being driven by Raymond Vega. And I just want to talk a little bit very quickly before the game starts about toxicity, because negativity and toxicity really doesn't do anything in World of Tanks. There's no excuse for it, and Raymond Vega really pulls out a douchebag move towards the end of this game, but he was very negative from the very start of this game, and I really think if he hadn't been as negative and he hadn't been as much of a douchebag, then maybe we could have won this game. Again, spoiler alert. But yeah, Raymond Vega, basically during the countdown, I've missed most of the countdown, but throughout the countdown he's been clicking on the map at F0, 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 so it's pretty obvious that he's planning to go hill. That's fine, that's okay, but the problem is the negativity after that point. So I'm just going to start the game, and I don't really want to focus too much on Raymond Vega or his negativity. That's fixed camera, but you could see already in chat, he's focused on his team. He's not focused on the game, he's focused on his team. Why play with effing useless Tog? So he's already looking at our team list, he's already complaining, and players are engaging him. They're talking back to him, trying to justify playing Togs. The Wolverine needed to be focused on the game. He should have been focused on where he's going or minimap, what he's going to be doing. There's no need to engage someone who's negative. It just drags the whole tone of the game down, the whole tone of the map. But Raymond Vega is going to be negative throughout this game until the end of it, and as I say, there's absolutely no excuse. But anyway, my plan here on the 1-2 lines is to go up to E1. Unfortunately, get AMX-12T moves up, and now I don't have 6th sense, but was planning to shoot the 12T, just couldn't get a shot in. But apparently he didn't spot me, so you can see that the T-34-85 beside me is taking fire. I haven't taken any fire, so don't have a very good crew in this tank. As per usual, it's a premium tank, so I'm training up a brand new crew. But I wasn't spotted by the AMX-12T. T-34-85 was, the T-37 was, and now we've lost our eyes on the 1-2 line. So I'm falling back, and you can see that we've got a lot of heavies. Most of our heavies seem to have come this flank. We've got a couple of tanks camping at B6, which you never need more than one tank back there, but a lot of heavy tanks coming up the 1-2 lines, and I don't know why they are advancing. That was a very unlucky shot there on the 12T. My shot actually went between his turret and his hull. The gun is much better than that, but very, very unlucky shot. So AMX-12T got a little bit lucky, but what you can see is the TOGs and the T-29 are pushing up, and I've got to get visual for them, because if the enemy team have a lot of tanks on the 1-2 lines, these guys are going to get torn apart. They need vision, so I've got to risk it. I push up to the E1 line, going to let my binocs kick in eventually, but what you can see here is another negative, maybe I forgot to mention. Very poor gun elevation on the Scorpion, but what you could see, snipe the cupola on an AT-7 that I've spotted, and able to put another shot into the cupola. So we're just going to work blind shot in the AT-7's cupola again, taking him out, but we've already lost a TOG. We're losing so many tanks on the 1-2 lines, and they keep pushing forward. There's no reason to push forward. They've got eyes. Let the enemy team push forward. I'll spot them and then they can shoot them. But we've just lost our other TOG. I miss a kill on the AT-7. Really need to kill this guy. And we get him with a blind shot. But the 12T is back. And again, using bush mechanics, the bushes are solid. Able to get a shot into the 12T. And we're still losing tanks on the 1-2 lines, and even though our team have just seen 2 TOGs get decimated, our T-29 and KV-1 are still pushing, so trying to get shots across into the middle. But no reason for these guys to keep advancing. They should have just sat there. I'm not sure who spotted the Chinook-Ai, but aiming. Difficult shot. The shot goes a little bit low. And our KV-1 just dies. Oh, it was my spot in the Chinook-Ai. So, get one shot in. He's a one-shot kill. I've got 219 millimeters of penetration. And I managed to bounce. Wonderful. World of Tanks. Okay, bad shot in his gun mantlet. And a bad shot on the side of the T1 Heavy. So, yeah, a couple of really poor bounces there, but we do manage to get a shot into the Chiri. Unfortunately, our T-29 has died. So, putting shots into this Chiri. Not sure if he's still there, not sure if he's got a repair kit, but in the meantime, Dicker Max appears. And I've just been spotted. T1 Heavy has moved up, spotted me. There's a KV-85 back there who's shot me as well. So many enemy tanks have just suddenly appeared in the middle and across the 1-2 lines, and T-34-85 is dead. It's just me and an SU-100M1. I'm still taking fire, but I'm running. I've got 45 kilometers an hour top speed. My gun gets damaged. I use my repair kit on the gun, but our team has completely collapsed. There was no reason. Look at all our friendly wrecks in front of us. No reason for any of those tanks to push forward, but they did. And as I say, this tank, it's very hard when your team just want to suicide. But moved up, going to be using a lot of bush mechanics here, and as long as the enemy team come rolling in one by one, I'm happy. But I've lost over 2/3 of my health. I'm a one-hit kill, and my one and only ally on this flank has now just died. So T1 Heavy advances, and as I say, if the enemy team advance one by one, decide not to take the shot, need bush cover, get a shot in while the bushes are solid. Again, wait for the bushes to go solid. and take out the T1 Heavy. So push forward to get more vision. Now I've spotted the Chinu. Reverse till the bushes are solid. And again, really unfortunate track on the Chinu. Should have been able to kill him. Really needed to kill him, but we take out the Chinu and then the T1 Heavy is advancing. So again, reversing till the bushes go solid. Get a shot at the T1 Heavy. Still trying to use my camo rating, trying to use bush mechanics, but I'm all alone over here and the enemy team just keep pushing. The moment I'm spotted, unfortunately, I'm dead and I've just been spotted. So Chiri bounces on my gun. I get taken out by a KV-85, T1 Heavy, Churchill, Chiri. Just too many tanks here for me to deal with. And our team completely collapsed. So we've got 2 tanks left. No, actually we don't. We have 1 tank left because after spending the game calling the team noobs, calling the team losers, the IS-2 top tier heavy decides to pull a douchebag move and rage quits. Rage quits. He felt he didn't have enough support on the 9-0 line, so he rage quit on a full health tier 7 heavy, top tier heavy tank. He rage quit on full health. So yeah, I think we may have been able to win this game had the IS-2 actually stayed in it and actually tried playing. Because what actually happened is the enemy team only sent 2 tanks down the 9-0 lines. The rest of the enemy team were on the middle of the map or on the 1-2 lines. There were only 2 enemy tanks on the 9-0 lines, but IS-2 never found that out because he decided to rage quit, having called the team noobs multiple occasions. So yeah, I spoke about this on a video before. There's really no need for so much negativity. There's no need to start calling your team noobs or calling your team losers because, you know, you're focused on your team and you're not focused on what you can do to try and get a better result. IS-2 could have done a lot more damage. He might have been able to kill the 2 enemy tanks that he was facing off against, or he could have retreated and helped me, but unfortunately, no, after insulting the game, or insulting the team for 8 minutes, he decided to rage quit. So yeah, he's never ever going to have a good result that way. But in the end, yet another defeat in the Scorpion. I just have so many defeats in this tank. We did pick up the ace, we did pick up a high caliber, and yeah, this tank is just cursed. I'm doing damage in the tank, 3k damage, quite happy with 4 kills, and 1145 XP, which is kind of low. I'm kind of surprised that was an ace, but it was, and I'm not complaining that much. But yeah, really surprised. I mean, the IS-2, he was top tier heavy. He fired 3 shots, did 367 damage, and then rage quit. He could have had such a bigger, or much bigger game. No need for the negativity, guys. 24 shots fired, 19 hits, 15 penetrations. The gun actually let me down. 219 millimeters of penetration, and I bounced 3 shots on Japanese tanks that have next to no armor. So yeah, I felt the gun let me down. It was still a good result, still happy with the damage, but could have been much higher. Spotted 5, damaged 8, destroyed 4, did 1081 assistance damage, and earned, because I wasn't firing any premium, 73,000 credits. So it's quite a good money maker if you can get it onto a big open map where you can use its maneuverability, use its camo rating. But as I say, I think the tank is very situational. Doesn't forgive mistakes, has absolutely no armor, and much better on big open maps than it is on city maps. But it can make money. It can make money. It's a decent money maker. But yeah, Scorpion, as I say, it's just cursed. I just can't win in this tank, no matter what I try to do. But it doesn't mean I don't love the tank. I think it's a great little tank. It's just a little bit too situational. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.